From a towering hilltop basilica to a stunning shrine nestled in the bluffs and a quiet chapel in the countryside, Wisconsin is home to 3 incredibly unique and reverent Marian shrines. Today on Discover Wisconsin, our travels take us on a spiritual journey unlike anything we've experienced before.
Hello and welcome to Discover Wisconsin.
This is an anthem for those who look for more and never say they've seen it all. Windows down, let's take a ride. The good land's great tonight.
In the Catholic Church, there's a strong devotion to Mary, the mother of Jesus, and a Marian shrine is a place built in her honor. In Wisconsin, there are 3 incredibly beautiful Marian shrines. Jake and I wanted to experience all 3 of these places in Wisconsin and hear the stories of those who have visited them. My first stop was Holy Hill National Shrine of Mary, Help of Christians, just outside of Milwaukee. This church is absolutely gorgeous. It's actually located on the highest point in southeastern Wisconsin. Arguably what Holy Hill is best known for is its external beauty, but we got to take a look inside.
There was a cross that was placed on top of the hill in 1858. And so even before there was any building, people began to come to the place where the cross was. Shrines are always places where people make pilgrimage. A pilgrimage is a spiritual experience, a traveling from one place to another that kind of marks a way of looking to answer questions in one's life.
I think what is special about shrines is it does draw people, it seems to, of different backgrounds and different faiths. What is it about these shrines, and maybe about Holy Hill specifically, that you think is so fascinating and intriguing to other people?
It's a place of invitation. And so there's a beautiful hospitality that is really part of what a shrine is, because it doesn't matter ultimately where you're coming from. In a world that's just so busy, to be able to be in a place that's quiet and still, it's healing. Here at Holy Hill, at least since 1906, there's been a religious community of priests and brothers. Carmelite friars were invited from Bavaria to minister especially to the German immigrants here in this area. And we have our own community life together, where we eat together, we pray together, we recreate together as we serve the pilgrims who come to the shrine.
Holy Hill to me felt almost otherworldly. You feel like you're in, this ancient place that is sacred. While our crew was there, we got to climb to the very top of the steeple to get a view of southeastern Wisconsin. The staircase starts to open up and you're seeing out to the Kettle Moraine. Holy Hill is one of the most photographed places in the entire state of Wisconsin. I'm sure whenever you visit, you're going to see photographers there.
The first time I came to Holy Hill, I was just so overwhelmed with how big and beautiful it was. If you plan on coming to Holy Hill and you bring a camera, I recommend taking a couple of hours to do so, because there's so much to see here. You can spend 2 hours alone exploring the shrines, the architecture, the paintings. It's all so breathtaking. One of my other favorite parts about photographing here is when you climb to the top of the hill. The view is amazing, and if you come during the fall, you can just see miles of colors from all the autumn leaves, so it's a really beautiful spot, I think.
Head to discoverwisconsin.com to see more amazing photos from Holy Hill. Coming up, I join a very special pilgrimage on the way to another Wisconsin shrine. Stay with us. We're exploring Wisconsin's Marian shrines right here on Discover Wisconsin. Holy Hill is a fantastic place to visit any time of the year, but there are actually a few annual events held there that draw some pretty large crowds. One of them is the John Bosco Youth Day. It draws teens from all over Wisconsin, all over the region, to come to Holy Hill to share ideas about their faith.
The St. John Bosco Youth Day is a really good way to bring our teens together with other young Catholics across southeast Wisconsin. I've taken teens here for a number of years, and they're all across the spectrum as far as where they're at in their faith. But we've walked the trails here, and the beauty of nature really emphasizes how God is present here.
Holy Hill is a beautiful part of the spiritual heritage of Wisconsin, so I really love to be able to introduce that to our young people. Coming to a youth conference like this, they get the opportunity to encounter Jesus in a totally new way. It helps bring what they learn from their head and move it into their heart.
I wanted to come because it's a good experience, seeing that you're not alone, seeing that there are like-minded people out there who are trying to be a child of God and trying to be faithful.
Holy Hill isn't just a pilgrimage site. It's actually a functioning church that holds masses and celebrations on important religious holidays too. Good Friday, the Friday before Easter, is one of the most important days in the Catholic faith. And at Holy Hill, the Archbishop of Milwaukee leads a prayerful walk along the Stations of the Cross.
Our Father. Stations of the Cross is a wonderful event every year that happens here at Holy Hill. And people come from all over, not only all over the state of Wisconsin, but even outside Illinois and beyond. They come here because walking the Stations of the Cross on Good Friday is a reminder of the sacrifice that Christ made for us.
Holy Hill is the final destination for a lot of people who travel to Wisconsin's Marian shrines, but for one special pilgrimage, it's actually the starting point. Chris Punzak is an IT volunteer for the Shrine of Our Lady of Guadalupe in La Crosse. He has cerebral palsy, but Chris has never let that stop him from leading a 200-mile Bike to Mary pilgrimage from Holy Hill to the shrine in La Crosse.
First of all, what is a pilgrimage? Because I find not everyone knows what a pilgrimage is. What does it mean to you?
I wanted to do something that is meaningful, but give people hope and inspiration to live out their days.
Forget about all the stress in your life, forget about what you've been dealt with, and just ride and enjoy.
It's kind of like a new beginning for some people.
Ready to ride? Ready to get on the trail? I don't know if he's ready, but I don't know if I'm ready. We'll find out. This will be a different kind of spiritual awakening today, I think.
I feel like I learned more about life chatting with Chris than with anyone I've ever met. He was just so incredible. I felt like I learned from him and I was inspired by him, and you could tell that that was contagious, and everyone else on the trip felt the same way about him and who he is. I have to admit, I was a little unsure about what a pilgrimage really entailed, what it was all about, what kind of that big picture was. And it all started kind of clicking with every conversation I had with the people who were taking part in the pilgrimage.
The beauty of the rolling hills is wonderful, and the daily mass is really nice too, but then the camaraderie of all of us is really enjoyable. The pilgrimage itself helps you kind of get away from the world, from your everyday life, and you need that sometimes.
You can learn more about the Bike to Mary pilgrimage at discoverwisconsin.com. Coming up, Jake continues the journey to the Shrine of Our Lady of Guadalupe.
Our pilgrimage to the Marian shrines continues right here on Discover Wisconsin. I continue the trip to the Shrine of Our Lady of Guadalupe in La Crosse. Now, what really struck me when I got there was, just the true beauty of the whole area, and not just the building itself. The shrine is absolutely gorgeous, but the grounds too. There's over 100 acres that people can walk around and really take time to reflect and pray.
This is such a beautiful place. I mean, that's what strikes me when I first come up here. And I mean, that's a big part of what brings people here too, isn't it?
Yes, the idea of a pilgrimage to a holy place. The holy place is not only supernaturally attractive, in other words, the pilgrims come to encounter God, but if there's also a natural attractiveness to draw them, the two things work together, and here they work together almost perfectly. We've tried to bring elements from the great history of Christian art and architecture. The altar in the church is modeled on the altar of the Basilica of St. Mary Major in Rome. There's a certain southwestern style in the architecture too, to connect us with the origin of the miracle in Mexico and so forth. So we've tried to really that the shrine be a place where people would experience the truth that the faith is universal, it's one throughout the whole world, that they have new hope for their lives and that they know deeply God's love for them.
The feast day of Our Lady of Guadalupe is celebrated every year on December 12th, and it's meant to honor the apparition of Mary to St. Juan Diego in Mexico in 1531.
Every year there are many who come for the feast day. It's the biggest feast of the year for the church, and there are many special traditions attached to this feast day, especially among the Mexicans. They bring with them this love and devotion towards the Mother of Christ under the title of Our Lady of Guadalupe, and with that devotion and love towards her, the various traditions that have been handed down over generations, the celebration of Las Mañanitas, very special traditional Mexican songs in her honor. And then usually it's followed by the celebration of Holy Mass, and then the traditional pan dulce, sweetbreads that they serve.
This is our tradition from Mexico, so we like to do it here because we live here. We got a beautiful shrine, we got a beautiful church, and very good people around here too.
Going back to those traditions from your roots are essential and heartwarming, and finding that here, it's a blessing to have this place here in La Crosse.
Tens of thousands of people make a pilgrimage to this shrine every single year, and really they come for a variety of reasons.
We're here at the shrine with my wife in honor of her brother who has prostate cancer. When he made his trip here, I believe he felt that it helped. And because his numbers are going way down now, and it's very positive for all of us.
This is a slice of heaven. It's like heaven's door right here in Wisconsin.
Our Lady is always answering prayers and performing miracles here.
We came all the way from Arizona. It's a nice retreat to get away from the craziness of the world.
While filming this episode, I learned that the journey itself, the actual pilgrimage, is so much a part of this for people other than just the destination. So there's Bike to Mary to the Shrine of Our Lady of Guadalupe, and to get to our last stop, there's the Walk to Mary.
We start at the National Shrine of St. Joseph on the campus of St. Norbert College, and we walk all the way out to the Shrine of Our Lady of Good Help. It's about a 22-mile journey. Everyone here, all 1,200 people, probably could tell you a little different story about why this is important to them. For me, I've went on a number of pilgrimages myself. At the time, I was the CEO of a very successful technology company, and I felt a calling from within. Instead of being all about money and success and business, I started to feel like there are much more important things in life than that. So I started working with some other people to put this Walk to Mary in place.
My wife and daughter have done it for the last 2 or 3 years, and I thought, boy, this is really cool what's going on here. So the whole family got involved. My wife has went through cancer, and so a lot of things that go through your mind. I think of the journey that Jesus did for us, and that's what it all comes down to. It's developing your spirit, and this is part of the journey.
Head to discoverwisconsin.com to download a free itinerary that'll help you plan your trip to Wisconsin's Marian shrines. We're wrapping up our journey to Wisconsin's Marian shrines right here on Discover Wisconsin. Our Lady of Good Help is the smallest of the 3 shrines, but it's an incredibly important place. It's where the Virgin Mary appeared to Adele Bryce in 1859, and it's actually the only Marian apparition that's approved in the United States by the Catholic Church.
The Blessed Mother asked Adele to gather the children in this wild country and teach them what they needed to know for salvation. Adele then took that on. Every day she would walk to the different farmsteads
and Adele would teach them just basics, the sign of the cross, some basic prayers. She's such a simple woman. I think that's probably what really resonates for many people today. This is a very simple shrine, a simple place to come and pray. And really that's what Adele recognized, and that's what she respected.
The biggest event at the shrine is the Solemnity of the Assumption of the Virgin Mary, and you've got hundreds of people that attend this outdoor mass that really is all about honoring Mary heading into heaven. After the Catholic Church formally approved the apparition in 2010, the Bishops' Conference of the United States designated Our Lady of Good Help as a national shrine in 2016.
Now that it's a national shrine, you would think that this would bring even more recognition to that and more pilgrims to come to this place.
Well, you know, people receive very personal blessings here. Some of them receive healings even. They come here and they center on peace. And that's a beautiful gift for all of us today.
There are so many reported instances of miracles and healings that occur at this shrine. In fact, one of the most well-known miraculous events that took place here is called the Miracle of Fire.
In 1871, the Peshtigo fire was raging in this area, and people knew this place to be a place of refuge to our Blessed Mother. They came here and they prayed. The fire came and burned all around them, but this 5-acre land was preserved and protected by our Blessed Lady. That was actually written in the history books. Everything around was a sea of ash, and this shone like an emerald in that ash, that everything was destroyed, and this 5 acres property was perfectly preserved.
When I heard this story, I mean, I got chills just hearing it and thinking about it. Every October, on the anniversary of the fire, pilgrims come and listen to a historical reading of that night, and then they walk around the perimeter of the chapel praying the rosary, just like the people who came here for protection did back in 1871.
This place has always been a great place of faith for many people, and so the miracle of the Peshtigo fire really represents that faith, that favor that God granted to them, and it's been passed down through generations of families and people who have always put that great trust in our Blessed Mother.
You know, after visiting these Marian shrines, I can tell you the thing that strikes me, just thinking about it, is just the true beauty of so many of these places, and just the passion that's involved in the people that go there to pray or to heal.
If you're not religious at all, if you practice a different religion other than Catholicism, I think that's all the more reason to experience each one of these shrines. One of the most important things you can do in life is just experience things that you don't know about or things that are unfamiliar to you, because I got the opportunity to learn about all of these people and the lives that they lead that may seem very different from mine, but I also got to learn a lot about myself in the process. I think what filming this episode taught me was, you know, everyone has questions about life and about their faith. We're all looking for answers, and that is what a pilgrimage is all about, and that is what these shrines exist for. I think that's a pretty amazing thing to take advantage of.
For more information, behind-the-scenes pics, and past episodes, head to discoverwisconsin.com. Continue the adventure by following us on Facebook, Instagram, Snapchat, and Discover Wisconsin Radio.